let's continue this lovely journey. Wow. I'm so honored and privileged to have this next amazing guest. He's right in the mix of his planning at the moment with these businesses, and we're so fortunate enough to get him here, share some of his experience. I've known him for close to 20 years now, and I've seen his journey, seen him absolutely take off, fly like an eagle. It's been an amazing journey to watch, to see him grow, to see him soar. Started in the real estate industry, started as an agent, went on, moved into auctioneering, owned a couple of businesses on the side as well. Started then property development, made the move to the mid-north coast up at Port Macquarie in Australia. And now over the last 3 years has built 8 offices with over 100 staff. Mate, it's an honor and a privilege. I call him a good mate. He's actually a godfather to my son, and it's an honor and a privilege to have him today share some of his secret sauces. Dave Gray, welcome, mate.
Shorty, glad we got the uniform, mate. How about
Look at that. Boom.
Boom.
You look a little bit smarter than with the specs, mate, so I love it. I love it.
Getting old, mate. Getting old.
So, mate, I shared a little bit of story, and I really appreciate your time. I know you're super busy, but share with us all that journey a little bit more detail. How did you get to where you are right now?
Mate, I think challenge focus. So I've always liked a new goal, and I suppose a bit of ADD helped in there. Like once I tick something off, like to do different things. So yeah, lucky enough to get started off in money market. I learned a lot, but didn't really kick by. Then real estate. Selling I liked, but there was always another avenue of real estate I sort of liked, and lucky around to be mentors that had a development focus. Moved right through the business, did every part of that. And then, yeah, lucky enough to have a cash business that supported development, did that, made $1 in that, and wasn't happy, mate. So, I was lost. I was living the party lifestyle and came up the mid-north coast and, tried to look for my, purpose up there, which is what I've enjoyed. And then I think I sort of then got, stuck to try and make amends for different things that happened in my life, and that didn't work. So now what I'm really enjoying is just sharpening the sword in business and becoming the best business person I can become, and also building the sharpest business that I can possibly build. Yeah.
Fantastic. So share with us the business that you are building at the moment and how it's gone to where it was a couple of years ago to where it is now, just to give everyone some context on that growth and the messaging that you're really delivering out there.
Yeah, so we started with one business, Port Macquarie Property Management, and then bought Elders Port Macquarie. So PMPM is more than doubled since we bought it. So 300 managements, we're now up to about 640. And then Elders, we started off with one office, and then that's now grown to 8. And that's now got about 18 salespeople and 2,300. So about 3,000 managements all up, give or take 100 people. And a sales team of about 17. So yeah, it's growing quickly. So what we're at now, when it grows quickly, and mate, I'm not the most structured person in the world. Now, what we're doing is looking at rebuilding that business. And Jeffy Jowett's got a good line of, what got us to here won't get us to there. So now we're looking at what that process is. So yeah, and I'm lucky, mate. Surrounded, our team's awesome.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. So let's fast forward to the now and what's happened over the last 8-10 weeks. What was the business like? What was the market like where you were? What were you notice out there in the industry before COVID hit? What was happening in your area?
Like before, how we were going and out?
Yeah.
Well,
before.
I think we've been looking at breaking our business up into different areas. So I look at general management, I look at accounts, I look at marketing, I look at property management, leasing, new business, just when I had the pizza shop. If you break a business down into every category and then you look at it and work out what's working, what's not, with an action plan on each, and then have a little bit of focus on each of those areas, then constantly just build it up a little bit, and then make the power of compound interest. It starts to accumulate, especially to the people that are just starting in their career, or I can see Dicko there coming back. It's about having patience, because success compounds, and if you do it right, if you're in a rush, yeah, sure, you can do a bit of business in 6 months time, but then 7-8 months, you'll do nothing. Where if you just compound it, mate, in 2-3 years, I mean, look what Ollie's doing now, I don't know if Ollie's been on yet and spoken, but his business, you've watched it compound, especially over the last year, and it's up to him now where he takes that.
Yeah, love it, love it. And so what did you notice? Like, obviously then restrictions hit, COVID hit, everything went pear-shaped out there, no face-to-face, no opens, auction stopped. What did you notice, both on a market perspective and also colleagues in the industry perspective? What did you notice? What happened?
Mate, it was a time to be strong. Yeah, like game on. So I think from my development, I've had much bigger stresses and even life problems that I've created myself. So to me, it feels like my whole life for probably 10 years has felt like turmoil. So I suppose my biggest life change is like this one hit, and I'm like, I'm never going to go through this or anything else like this again. So I took it as a line in the sand. I'm going to show the team as much freaking strength. I've been through worse. I've been through wars. Let's do it. So yeah, I haven't had a drink for 11 weeks, mate. I've trained the house down. I've been in the office early. I've even freaking made an effort on my appearance at times. And mate, I've been really, really present in the office, and I've made the team know that I'm here and I've got their back. So to me, I've seen a lot of business owners when things go belly up, they either feel sorry for themselves or disappear. I tried to be on the front foot and tackle it. But I think my biggest giveaway of this now is that a lot of my life decisions have put me under pressure. Then COVID added more pressure, and then development. I'm like, that's it, no more, life changes. Let's set my life up so I don't have to have those pressures anymore. And that's the process I'm on at the moment.
That's a huge piece of advice. How did you, if you look at the last 10 weeks, how have you navigated your mindset, and what are some of the things that worked and what are some of the things that didn't work?
Yeah, I think if I had a lesson from this now is that, yeah, I attacked it and I was on the front foot, but for some people, they needed to actually back away and know that the different personalities. So some people have sort of rested through this or disappeared out of this. That's okay too. And knowing that my way that I dealt with it and other people's would be different. So if I look back now, I think I'd be a little bit more empathetic. I think I was trying to lead from the front and show, I'm this guy and I can do this, I can do that. But I should have chatted to some of my team and said, hey, where are you at and what can I do for you? Because my way mightn't have been right for them. So I hope that sort of answers.
Yeah, perfect. And if you look back over the last 10 weeks, besides what you've just mentioned, would there be anything else that you may have done a little bit differently?
Oh, mate, I'm so proud of my team. I think this is a lot. I'm really excited. This is a line in the sand moment for our business. We were the last to shut when we had to shut. We pushed the most. The last minute we could do open print, we pushed everything. And I'm so proud of every single one of them, what they did through this and that process as a team. I think we showed some really good strength and resilience. What I'm worried about my team now and what I've been saying to them is that this isn't over. September, October, November, I think who knows what's going to happen. It's a long run to Christmas. We're a mid-North Coast business where, summer is our time in the sun. I want to make sure they're looked after. I'm tired. I know because I've been so on for 10 weeks, I know I need to take a break, and I want to make sure my team's mental health and wellness is okay and that they have a little bit of it, that they look after themselves now. Because, we are in a recession, yeah? It's not just about COVID. Everyone seems to forget about the economy. The economy's huge and we need to be aware of that, not negative. And like I always say, it's look at it where we're at, accept it, and then make a plan around it. So to me, it's about wellness, getting structured. And mate, if you're not moving forward in this, if you're not becoming a better business, you're going to be left behind, mate. Absolutely left behind. I'm telling you, 2020, people are going to look back in 1 or 2 years. You've either made it or you've failed, and it's happened right now.
Love it. Oh,
pumped.
Gold. So if you look at the last 10 weeks, for yourself personally and as a group, what do you think that you've done differently compared to others out there in the industry?
We've worked on our business.
We've
worked on our business, mate. We've absolutely, and we're building on it today. We've ripped apart we've worked on every part of our business. So we've got a new database happening for our sales thing. We're looking at our digital marketing. We're bringing on a new website for our holiday business. We're making sure, we've got a new HR system coming into our business. So that little bit of space or time, we've just worked on sharpening the sword. So today, the reason why I'm jumping in and out is we're doing a SWOT. So I've got about 20 people from our business in all different types, giving us, a mindset group, and we're ripping our business apart even more and then rebuild it. And I reckon we've got 2-3 months to do it because I just think the world's changing, mate. So we've worked on our business while I reckon everyone was sleeping in their doona. You know what I mean? In their doona.
Having some cuddles. Having
their cuddles, mate. And then talking about, I don't even want to talk about that word anymore. It's done. What are we doing to become better? we've got a couple of people like David Plou's in our business, really respectable man, nice man with not much debt, and he's created a bit of wealth for himself. He wasn't stressed. My partner Ali in this, like, she's got money in the bank. She's got a couple of investment properties. She wasn't stressed. But it's the people that spend more than they should. It's the people that haven't looked after their database. It's the people that haven't thought about saving a few pennies. Anyone that's organized and got a well-run business, mate, they've pushed through this okay.
Yeah.
So live within your means. And yeah, my biggest lesson now is, I've kept reinvesting in my business. My lesson is to have a buffer, a bit of a buffer of cash in the business. And who cares? Game on.
What's kept you focused? What's kept you on track? What's kept you right?
I think emotionally, I got a bit smashed. Like coming to Port, I wanted to make a life change, and I had that, the party boy image in Sydney, and then I broke out of it, became a developer, and I was around amazing people doing amazing things. I came up to Port, and I wanted to keep on that trajectory, but I went back and thought about what my mentor was 15 years ago. So I went backwards. Like, even though it looks like I went forwards, I went backwards. I got into, having to think I had to get pissed with the staff all the time, like telling dirty jokes, like being the last one home. Like, I went backwards because that was my attachment to real estate, was my 15-year-old lesson. So, now it's about building, I wanted to, and also I copped a small town being, oh, he's a party boy or he's this. To me, I saw this as an opportunity to actually show my true character and my true strength, and let the team know, mate, if we're in a fight, I wanted to be the leader that, if something else happens in the world, that they know that. Like, we didn't lose any staff members, mate, over COVID. Like, we kept everyone on. And mate, I would have loved to, we left some suppliers that I would have loved to have get rid of and probably should have. We kept everyone on, and the team helped with some small changes to, hours and things. But like, I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of the team. So to me, this was a legacy moment, and I took the opportunity of a hard time to make a difference. And I hope the team's seen that, and we can build from this.
That's awesome. That's so good. What's been your, you've had some huge lessons that you've already mentioned already, but what has been, I guess, the biggest lesson over these last 8-10 weeks, both on a personal and a business?
Materialistic stuff means shit, mate. It means crap. You know what I mean? Like, I've got a few investment properties. So what? Didn't put petrol in the car, did it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, as Arthur's mum used to say, but David, you can't live in all of them, can you? You know what I mean? Mate, like, I was on this journey, but mate, the lesson of this is mate, we're not remembered by, how many properties we have or how much money we've got. We're remembered by how we make people feel. And I know that sounds fucking corny. I said I wouldn't swear today. But like, I know it sounds corny, but mate, I think the world has got an opportunity to realize that it's about how we treat people in that experience. And mate, that's the lesson I've got out of this. I'm learning to surf, and by October, the next thing for me, Shorty, is 3 days a week CEO. And whether I get to Byron and like it or not, I don't know. It might change. But between now and October, I'm going to have my business ready. But I only need to be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or 1 week out of every, 2 weeks out of every 3 weeks. And I want to live, mate. And living's not, don't listen to my prospectors that are here now, because you should be prospecting like crazy. But like, but life is, but it's true. When you work, let's work hard. Let's work intense.
When you're on, you're on.
We're on. Yeah. But mate, I want off, and I don't think I know what an off switch is, and I want to learn to get that off switch going. So that's my lesson is, mate, yeah, it's experience and people and friendships, and, because COVID, all equal. It hit the rich, it hit the poor, unemployed, not employed. Well, actually, the unemployed did all right. But, it hit us all. And it reminds me, mate, we're all equal. Just because you got $1 more or $1 less, we're still equal. Yeah.
Love it. So if you've got a question for Dave, just throw it into the chat. What's coming up? What does the future look like for you personally? You've shared a little bit of your vision personally, and also the group.
We're doing SWAT today. I think, getting back to maybe some business value, it's about our next stage in business, which is bringing all it into one. So we've got 9 different offices. So we're calling it the integration stage. So where Elders Lifestyle Group or the greater group becomes one. And we're looking to build that now, and our values are grow, prosper, belong. And, like, I'm challenged on that. And I was even driving here today, and I was thinking, well, what am I really doing to grow my team? Like I say it, but actually making sure I've got my space in my week that I can actually do that. And then what am I doing to really make sure they prosper? Like, am I really checking in with them, calling myself out? And then belong, you know, like today, some of the feedback, like I thought I was doing enough in recognition, and some of the real honest feedback in the SWAT about team, you know, wanting a pat on the back and just knowing I need to do more. Yeah, like there's a long way to go. Yeah, so then getting that SWAT, becoming one, getting all the systems and processes world-class in my business. And October, see you in Byron.
Love it. Love it. Question from Ollie. How do you plan to switch off?
Well, you know what? Great question, mate. Because before that was partying, getting on the piss. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the drink, I've got to say, was escapism. And if it's not escapism, then it's buying a toy. So really good question. Mate, I'm really enjoying my fitness. I switch off when I'm doing my fitness, but yeah, you can't do fitness all those other hours. I'm learning to fly a plane. So yeah, you know, goal is to have the plane. So, mate, I'm trying like yoga and meditation. I'm not great at it. I think for me, I don't know. I think having a management team will allow me to think that it's not all on my shoulders and that I can step away a little bit. And I think when I can step away, so what I'm trying to do is to create space to learn that better. So good on you, Ollie. I'm supposed to ask you the freaking questions.
Love it, love it, love it. So, guys, what's been as we start to close up? What's been a biggest takeaway that you've taken from Dave today? Dave, where can they find out more about yourself and about the group? What would you recommend? Where would you send them?
Website davidcgray.com.au. Mate, that's got all our, you know, so we're an integrated 360-degree business. We've got finance, insurance is about to launch. We're looking to get into trade, so prompt concierge. We've got the development business, Elders Lifestyle Group. So yeah, mate, happy to talk to anyone. Happy to, yeah, like, mate, I love this game. And you know, while I'm on here, give you a little plug, Shorty. I mean, this all really started, mate, when we started talking and looking at that. And you know, my final bit of advice is what we did, you know, back in 2009. We looked through my life, we looked at my family, my work, my fitness, and we rated myself from 1 to 10 in each of those areas. And then we had a plan to improve each of those. And mate, I've done that. And then I've had some wins and then I've dropped off that. But every time I go back to that, if you look at where your life is and you rate yourself from 1 to 10 and a plan to get better, game over. Look out.
Beautiful.
So thank you, Mr. Short. I'll be forever thankful.
Absolutely pleasure and an absolute honor. Last golden nugget, what would be, if they guys could take one snippet from what you've shared, your insights, your history, what would be another thing or
look in the mirror and don't bullshit yourself. Look, I don't care whether you're a 1, 2, 3 or a 4, but look in the mirror and have a good chat to yourself. If like, I was really fit a year ago and I kept training, but I started eating a bit of crap. And I was like, oh, wow, I've got to get a new laundromat because they keep bringing back my shirts a bit tighter every time. You know what I mean? You bullshit yourself. And then I finally got looked in the mirror. I was like, no, you're a fat prick. So like, and then got back into training. So mate, we lie to ourselves. So have a, like, and it doesn't matter what the answer is because none of us are perfect. Like as I'm talking, I'm like, mate, I've got so much I need to work on. This is not me lecturing. This is just me sharing my lessons. There's so much stuff I'm crap at. But mate, I think my only skill set in this is I know what I'm crap at. And I can have a really good chat. I might want to let you know it, but I know it here. And then once you know where you're at, just have a plan to go forward. It's the simplest advice in the world. But look in the mirror and don't bullshit yourself. Because, yeah.
Love it. Love it. Excellent. Excellent. Guys, let's give Dave a huge high five under the screen. 3, 2, 1.
Thanks, guys.
Wonderful. Dave, really appreciate your time this afternoon, mate. Get back to your SWAT and looking forward to catching up soon.
Awesome.
Thanks,
love it. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Bye.